in a time and place when you can work from anywhere.
Two ladies in their mid to late 27s have decided to.
And they're calling it Workationing.
First stop, Aguada, Puerto Rico.
We're here.
Did they forget anything important?
Do Kelly and Kari immediately regret their decision?
What's the difference between a vagabond and a digital nomad?
Hint, one of them showers and has access to a smartphone.
Will this be everything they ever hoped it would be?
Will Kelly recover from the existential crisis she had on the plane?
Or have they made the biggest mistake of their lives?
This is the Workationing Podcast. I'm excited. Kelly, are you excited?
I'm very excited.
I am excited because we are here in beautiful Aguada, Puerto Rico.
Oh my gosh. How long have we been talking about this?
Forever in 3 days, or exactly 5 months.
For the length of an entire existential crisis, really.
I'm so glad that's over. I was so stressed.
No, and at the end, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I think we were both mildly concerned that we had just completely fucked our lives. But we've been here for, 3 days now? And I feel like that feeling just evaporated.
It did. It was such a relief to get here, take a breath, look around, and realize that we have manifested our own destiny.
Yes, we manifested the fuck out of this Airbnb, and it is pimp.
It is a very nice Airbnb, and the amenities are modern here, I have to say.
Yes, no, I'm pretty happy with this place. I think this is going to serve us very well.
We have a smart TV and everything. So before we got here, we had some going away parties.
Yes.
How was yours?
You know, it was really, really great. It was really lovely to spend that last New Year's Eve with my friends. It's kind of a tradition with our friend group and to always do New Year's Eve together. And they were kind enough to relocate it up to Lakewood near the airport so that I could scurry over there. Because I had to leave at 4:30 in the morning.
I had to leave at 6. It was early, but I got a decent night's sleep.
I did not.
We left on New Year's Day, and I'm trying to think if I even made it to midnight. I know that there was... I had my going away prom the day before, which was so wonderful. The disco ball going all night. And at 6 o'clock, I had to leave for the airport today, or not today, but on the 1st. And I just wanted to make sure that I was kicking off the trip with a decent night's sleep behind me. You did not go that route.
I did not. I made a pretty strong decision on the 30th, Ronda Rousey had her comeback fight, which I had been waiting for 4 months. And so I went out to a bar to watch this fight. And of course, she didn't even go on till 1 in the morning or something. I have no idea because that's how the title fights usually are. And homegirl went down in 42 seconds. But so I had stayed up way late the night before, and then that morning I had to wake up super early on the 31st to start getting packed and to get everything together because I had to leave at 4, and then I stayed up all night long. By the time we finally got here to our Airbnb, which was just a whole treacherous journey in and of itself, I'd been up for 40 plus hours. I was just full on dissociating from my body.
So let's talk about our goals real quick. Number one, I think it's really important for both of us to eat healthy while we're on the road.
Yeah, this can go, if you treat this whole thing like a vacation, food-wise, this can go downhill just really fast.
I'm not trying to do that. So we've got some Fitbits, and I also want to meditate. Meditating more is a goal for me, and I, knowing myself, probably am not going to do it every single day this month, but I want to do it at least every other day.
Yes, I think that's a really good goal.
We also have the career goal. So those are our personal goals. The career goal we have is to launch the Workationing podcast and website. And the website's already up. We're not happy with it. We're going to make some changes to the theme, I think. But we're on our way to doing that already.
Yeah, it's functional right now, but it's not ready for its close-up.
And eventually, these podcasts are finally going to see the light of day.
So one of these days.
We also want to make progress with our TCFs, the agency. we work at, we want to make some progress with our email marketing campaign.
Yeah, that's been kind of a beast that we've been tackling for a while. It was actually something that was born on another workation trip that we took. And
we have over 10,000 subscribers now.
We do. And that's been, it has been a learning experience, though. And I think we're ready to really take it to the next level.
I'm excited about that one. And our bucket list item is
to swim in the bio bay.
Which Google, please do a Google image search for Puerto Rico bio bay and just tell me that doesn't look like something you want to swim in.
Yeah, it's got a sort of Fantasia vibe about it.
I'm so geeked. I didn't know that water could look like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
So we're in Puerto Rico, Aguada, Puerto Rico.
Aguada, Puerto Rico. It's really lovely.
It is. Should we talk about our journey? So the last time that we podcasted, or we're not even podcasting now, we recorded it, was like, what, on the 30th?
Yes.
The day before we left? Because I was seeing you in 2 days, right?
Yeah. And
December
we were
30th.
losing it a little bit. You were about to go to prom.
Okay, so my friends threw me a going away prom. Things stepped up a notch on prom night, as they do.
As they do.
Emotions were running high.
Right.
It
Senior
was the
year.
end of an era.
When are you going to see each other again?
I don't know. I'm going away to college or something.
Yep. I feel like we need to circle back.
We should. So we're circling back to got on the plane, went to Newark, got Fitbits, which I think are going to be a big part of our lives moving forward.
They were, and it was a lovely gift. Carrie got them. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. I was really excited. Actually, you showed up at the right moment at the airport because I was feeling like hot garbage because I had actually been up for over 24 hours at the point. Because I went to, my friends and I always have a New Year's party. And I just stayed up all night at the point that they were like ready to crash out. I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to the airport now. So I was a mess. But then you showed up and I got my second wind. We were so excited. We set up our Fitbits.
We did. And we've been hitting those steps like they stole something from us.
We sure were. Oh my God. And the flight. Carrie slept through this flight.
I did. I slept all the way through it. I can sleep on planes. Apparently Kelly can't.
No, I never ever can. And I certainly can't. I ate this pot cookie before we got on the plane. And I have partaken of these cookies from this particular purveyor
of cookies.
Of cookie treats before. And I spent that whole night laying in bed, hallucinating and tripping balls.
I don't even know how that's possible. But you had, did you have
delicate.
an existential crisis?
I had a complete existential, it wasn't even a crisis. I had like an unraveling. And at one point I was hallucinating.
Kelly was not sitting next to me on the plane.
No.
By the way, she was about 20 rows back and the last person off of the plane.
And I was hallucinating that the plane was a cloud chapel. And there was like vaulted ceilings and like the light was coming through. There were rainbows. Listen, I really faced some things about myself. I know. I think I decided I'm like, that's it. I'm done. Because I clearly can't handle it. Because you know what? It was fun. It was amazing. I really feel like I confronted some things in myself. But I just can't do that all the time. Like, it's exhausting. I was exhausted.
Meanwhile,
Carrie just like.
And I had 3 of them.
You had no idea I was back there just like talking to Jesus.
God. I was sleeping so well.
Oh my God.
I was having dreams, just like waking myself up by like my head falling forward.
No, it was rough. I couldn't even read my smut. I was too out of it.
Oh my God.
I was paranoid everybody could read all the like weird sex shit I was reading about over my shoulder and they were judging me.
It was for work. You needed to.
I did. It actually was for work somehow. Because my life is the best.
Tales of a social media rap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hard times. Hard times out on those streets.
It's rough.
Okay, so we ended up in Puerto Rico and decided with the quickness that $150 cab ride, we could probably do better than that with a pickup and drop off on the other side of the island. And we got a car rental for 2 days for $131.
And you were so smart. This was totally Carrie. I was still like piecing like the parts of my like identity back together. And Carrie was doing some quick math on the car. So I was really grateful for that.
I got you.
Yeah. No, but it was pretty great. So so then we had the car for 2 days and we're like,
Yes.
well, that'll be perfect because we didn't know where we were going. We're like, we've got to scope. Where's the grocery store? Where's the beach? And there's a beach close here that we can walk to, which you haven't actually gone to yet. But there were other because we wanted to go to these other beaches that you can only drive to.
Right.
Which
so we went to Rincon.
Yeah.
2 beaches in Rincon.
Yes. Which were gorgeous. We're going to have videos like up on the website. You can check them out on Instagram. But I mean, like really top notch.
Playa Domes. Have you ever seen anybody look so happy as I was when I ran into the ocean?
No, it was the best. It was really, really good.
I just like could not wait anymore.
It's literally the prettiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Aren't the beaches here? And we've been to the Dominican Republic. We've been to Mexico. Like I have seen some beaches. California. We went to Venice Beach. We've gone to all kinds of beaches.
Yeah, this looks like no beach I've ever seen before. It's
and there
really
are multiple
something.
of them that are not busy at all.
Right. This was some top notch beaching.
Oh, the beachery here is fantastic.
So
and
good.
we're going to explore a lot more of it. But we dropped off the rental car today, and that was, again, confirmed a good deal. Had a really good cabbie.
He was really good. He was a nice boy.
He was.
I'll describe him. He was a nice boy.
He was a nice boy. He was married.
He was married. He seemed a little young to be married, but who am I to judge?
I'm not here to judge.
Me neither.
I just looked at him and was like, this is not the guy that I asked for a weed connection.
I saw you think about it too. You like ventured it. You were like, so like, is marijuana legal here? And like, based on his reaction, I feel like you made the right call.
Oh, for sure.
I didn't even have to give you the side eye. I knew
You
you
did
were
not.
picking up on it.
No.
Because he said it in a way that was like, you could just tell.
Yep, not going to do it.
You can tell.
I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable.
No.
Sometimes you can tell the other way, though. Had we had
No, it's
like
not
a
like when we were
hippie
in-
cab driver.
Right. It's not like when we were in Dominican Republic when like we could both immediately be like, yes, this man knows. Like, this poor child did not know.
No.
And so we left him alone.
We did. But he gave us great advice on things to see.
He did. Waterfalls, beaches we should go to. I'm skeptical about this Snake Island place. I don't know if I want to go anywhere
What
that's
did
called
he
Snake
call
Island.
it? It's not Chupacabra. It's
No, it's not Chupacabra. Listen, Kari and I have vowed to work on our Spanish because it is really atrocious.
no bueno.
I want to say it begins with a C, but the word I'm thinking of, I'm 90% sure means onion.
Hang on. Let me
and not
Google
snake.
snake in Spanish real quick.
Okay.
Do.
She's doing it.
No. Serpiente. It's not Serpiente Island.
So it must mean something else. I don't know, man.
We should have written that down because he said if you say Snake Island, nobody's going to know about it. We'll Google the best beaches in Puerto Rico.
We'll figure it out that way.
And we will because I'll recognize it
Did you
when
get
I see
his
it.
number? We'll just call him.
No, but it's on our wall at the Airbnb. How sweet is our Airbnb, by the way?
Oh,
Can we
right.
take a minute to talk about this?
No, this place is great. That's where we are right now. I could just like live here forever. This is a great place.
Living above a convenience store,
Mighty
very
convenient.
convenient. Cannot
Right.
recommend it enough. We didn't bring toothbrushes. I brought toothpaste this time, but no
We
toothbrush.
are so fucking notorious for that. You and I leaving behind the toothbrush.
Or toothpaste.
Like, what kind of filthy bitches are we that we're just like, we cannot remember to bring a toothbrush to save our damn lives?
No, last time we brought the toothbrushes, but no paste.
Right.
But it's a new year, new us, and now we're the type of people who wear Fitbits and eat broccoli for dinner.
We did. That was a really good broccoli dinner. Thank you for
I'm
that.
glad that you liked it. It was less than $2.50 per serving for broccoli, chorizo, garlic, and a dippy egg on top.
I love it. It was really, really good. And I love my Fitbit, although I hate Kari because, okay, so like Kari, in running the agency, a lot of what she does is running us, and that involves a lot of phone calls.
Right.
So whereas I am in the trenches looking for gifts, the perfect gift.
Got to be the perfect one. You can't half-ass that.
Right. Looking for the perfect gift. Kari is on phone calls making sure that other people are looking for the perfect gift. It's more complicated than that, but
Right.
whatever. And she paces throughout the apartment.
I am a pacer.
And so like we have these Fitbits and it's like we're just getting through with our work. I've got like a smooth 127 steps because that's how many it took to like get my coffee and pee today. And then this bitch has like 5,000 steps already. And I get so cranky.
I'm sorry. I pace anyway. I feel like when I pace, I'm making progress. Like I'm moving forward. I'm always moving forward when I'm pacing. And when I'm on conference calls or like client calls or employee calls, the physical sense of movement and progress helps. I don't know. I don't know if it helps me or not, but it's more comfortable.
No,
And
you
I
seem
feel
like
like-
you seem to love it. You can't get enough.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just pacing like a crazy person, holding on to my MacBook Air, talking into Skype because I hate my phone so much. I try not to use it.
It literally only bothers me because I'm like, that bitch, all these steps. Just...
Anyway, I am looking forward to getting healthier, but not really trying to. I feel like I've been hitting my steps. We got some swimming in. We're busy. I mean, there are times when obviously we can't bring our treadmill desks with us on Workation, right? But we work at a community. Kelly's looking at me like, what?
I'm like, yeah, my treadmill desk. I really missed that thing. I definitely had one of those.
I did not. Hashtag did not.
Okay.
I like to pretend like I might get one at any moment, though. Like I'm already.
No. If I sound winded on a conference call, it's probably like... Just trust it's not. I had to like close some windows fast or something.
Oh my God.
Okay. It's not my treadmill desk. Just know that.
It could be though.
I might have eaten some cookies real fast.
Okay. So I pace like a crazy person holding onto my laptop and talking into it, asking questions, scrolling through tabs. I'm getting shit done.
You are.
On these pacing calls. And Kelly is unfortunately exposed to that now. And at some point, you might want to shoot me.
No, it's really only the steps that make me salty.
Okay, all right. I won't talk about my steps.
Yeah.
No step counting. So how do you feel about the area? Do you feel safe here?
You know, I do. I will say it looks completely different than the U.S. It's technically the U.S. It's so not the U.S.
All the signs are in Spanish.
Yeah, which is fine. I do okay with that. It looks so different. It looks so different, and it is like a more, I wouldn't say it's like impoverished.
Right.
But it's not the kind of just like wealth you see in just even like a
standard suburbia,
like blue collar neighborhood.
$130,000 house. Like that is not what this is.
No. And the houses are just made out of different shit too, because it's like a different area and it's an island. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard. I found like it was hard for me to gauge in some of the neighborhoods, like, am I safe here or not? Like, I can't tell. Do you people just like bars on your window? Is that like, I mean, they seem decorative. But they also seem like very much made out of iron.
As are the fences.
Right. So it's I feel like it was a little hard for me at first to gauge, like, am I safe, am I not safe? But I will say the people here are extraordinarily nice. There's a lot of, like, we're above this convenience store where you can literally just go in
downtown
and,
Aguada.
Right. And you just can go in there and, like, buy a beer or whatever. And then there's a patio outside where you can, like, kick it. And people do.
Yeah. Oh, they buy a beer at the convenience store, chill on the patio.
So it's hopping. People are drinking. But I don't hear there's nothing crazy has happened to us at all.
No.
And I feel like it is pretty safe here.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting because you can't, I'm just finding interesting, like, culturally that I can't gauge whether the area I am in is safe or not. I have to kind of, like, be there for a while and look at context clues. Right now, I feel like we're very, very safe, actually. This neighborhood seems pretty safe.
I try not to, listen, I want to be, what do they call it? Situationally aware.
Yeah.
And knowing who's around and knowing the risks and risk mitigation is always a big part of any kind of travel, whether it's like putting your passport somewhere where if your purse gets stolen, your passport isn't with it.
Right.
Keeping a separate credit card maybe with your passport, maybe keeping a cache of cash somewhere. Who knows? But like there are all kinds of like various travel hacks where worst case scenario, if something happens, you lose your purse or whatever, you still have the key necessities to at least get you through another week while you wait for whatever to be mailed to you.
Right.
And safety-wise, we haven't really been in any situations where I was ever concerned for our safety. Granted, we've been here for a hot 2 days.
Yeah.
But like I spent 2.5 weeks here last year. And Isabella, like a couple towns over, and I never experienced anything creepy. And as a matter of fact, so I've traveled with you before. Mm-hmm. You are a pale, curly redhead with just
the most ass,
an ass for days.
It defies logic.
Our friend Elena, same kind of situation, right? So when we were in Mexico, and I was walking down the street with you two. It was like cat calls for days on a level that I'd never heard before. And it made us all it made Elena especially uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable to see you guys being on it, like, because it wasn't
I
directed
just
at
powered
me,
through because I love the Caribbean so much.
Right.
And I just get used to it. I'm just not going to let that faze me. But I will say I was prepared, even though I get Puerto Rico is a whole different place than Dominican Republic. You know what I mean? And like a whole different place from Mexico. Like, I'm not that stupid, but I was ready just because being in this part of the world for there to be more like sexually aggressive men. Like, I'm sorry if that's like racist or something, but I mean, I'm sorry, that's what I've experienced in these countries.
No,
like,
I have.
They're just
now.
sexually aggressive,
Right?
Like, and they're like very forward. If they think you're pretty, they like you're gonna hear about it. It doesn't matter if they're like 100 yards away. If someone finds you attractive, you are gonna hear about it,
even if it's just from a passing car.
right? Like, you will know. Literally everyone within line of view that would like to fuck you, you'll know at all times.
Did we ever talk about the creepy experience you had in the Dominican Republic when we stayed at that all-inclusive resort?
No.
So Kelly had 3 members of the staff trying to get all up in her pants, and then I think at least 2 of them wanted to put a ring on it. Like,
Yeah.
Choco Latte.
Chocolate.
That was literally his name.
I still have to occasionally block him on some like new form of way that like new social media that he figured out how to find me on.
So, yeah, there were multiple guys that were very interested in Kelly, and they all worked at this resort. And, like, at first it was kind of cute. Like, when the guy slid the note under our door.
Pablo, and if he had just stopped there, because I had just been cheated on, and we were, like, literally, we had booked this flight in, like, less than 48 hours, because I'd called Carrie one day. Well, we were, I don't know, you called me, I called you, I don't remember. But, like, Carrie had just had a shit week, and I was like, this asshole just cheated on me. And I was like, we were both, and she was just like, do you want to go somewhere? And we were like, yes. So like we went, so I was ready.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, this guy, ugh. And then there was the note, and he was very attractive.
He was so good looking.
And to be fair, I was the aggressor early on. He like helped us switch rooms, and I just like cornered this man and just like made out with him aggressively in the hallway.
But then it got real creepy when one of these dudes, was it Pablo? Pablo. So this dude, my name was on the room. Kelly and I went halvesies on this all-inclusive, and I had never been to an all-inclusive resort before. I do not plan to go back again. I did not have a good experience there. I mean, like, the location was beautiful. Our suite was pimp.
It was the pimpest.
I had to threaten to make somebody my project in order to get that sweet pimp suite.
There were threats involved, but it's fine.
We got there.
Yeah.
We did not have a good experience from the start, and it continued. But the men started, well, Pablo got my phone number off of the booking, the room booking.
Yeah, not even like our room phone number, like Carrie's
cell
phone number.
Called
because
me,
I wouldn't
texted
respond
me.
to his text messages. And I was like, homeboy, I am working. And so I just didn't answer because I didn't know what the answer was to when but like he worked there. I was sure I would find him.
Right.
And like I had it on my schedule. I was like, there's going to come a lull in the activity and I'm going to give Pablo a ring and we're going to do this thing. Like he was going to get laid. He was so cute.
He was very, very attractive.
And I was in the mood to like.
But I'm pretty sure that had to have broken some kind of law. You don't get to like pull up a friend's cell phone number. Granted, he didn't know if it was yours or mine.
Right. But even if it wasn't a law, it was for sure at least a policy at the resort. Like, and it was just.
I would hope so.
It was unethical as fuck.
No,
and
like,
it was creepy.
All of the guys were just like texting you. The messages came through on WhatsApp, like text messages. They had carrier pigeons there. You would have received 3 at least. And it was too much. And so, like, it's not racist to say when I go to these places, I experience these things. Or I have noticed that I get more sexual harassment in certain areas than I do others. And to be aware of it because it's something that I was concerned about for you.
Right. Because I had, like, on that trip, I was in kind of the mood to get some, like, random attention. Like, that was fine with me. But it just went way past. It was, like, invasion of privacy. And also, we were there together. I was down to, like, maybe make out with some dude or, like, have a good time, have a little flirt, but I was also there to like, have fun with you and like spend time with you and get some work done also. And like, I don't know. I wasn't trying to get hitched.
No, they wanted you to have their babies. They like literally wanted you to birth their children.
I know.
Then probably help raise them.
They also wanted to take me to Coco Bongo, which like I feel like they should have known was not
They don't know the real Kelly like I know the real Kelly.
Coco Bongo is the last thing you should threaten me with if you want.
But this is a different experience in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, not at all. Nothing. It's been fantastic. I feel invisible. It's great.
Has it been great?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. And also, things are pretty cheap here.
Yeah, totally not bad. I mean, like, you can find yourself an expensive cocktail if you want to.
Right. But on the beach, we got blended pina coladas.
Yeah, that's not even expensive.
$5 each.
$5. Well, and those margaritas we had were $5, and they were actually really good.
They were amazing. And the pinchos, the meat skewers on the beach.
Those
Take
were
your pick, $2.50.
And that was delicious.
That was more than $2.50 worth of meat on that stick.
It makes me so mad when I'm in the Caribbean, like in a place like this, and I eat some like street meat on a stick, and it is the best. It's like chicken, and it's like the best thing I've ever had. Because like I feel like growing up as a Midwestern girl, like to me, chicken is like a hard, sad, stringy thing.
It's terrible.
And when I'm eating some street meat like on a stick,
I'd be like, can you come teach my family how to make chicken like this?
Right. And like, I'm eating it and I'm like, I'm not even sure it's cooked all the way. And you know what? I don't care if I die this way.
It's worth it.
At least I knew that chicken could be good.
So let's talk about the family, friends, and maybe boys that we left back home. How's that? Have you missed anyone yet?
It's been pretty fast to miss anybody. I had a much harder time leaving than I thought I would.
That was a real struggle. Like we were going through it all the way. I was going through it all the way up until the point where I left, literally.
Yeah, I was crying for days. It was really hard. And so my friends, like I said, we do like our New Year's party every year. And that was like, I had to say goodbye to my family. That was hard. And then with my friend, it was really nice to just see everybody, have that tradition. And like, we got into some deep shit and talked about all kinds of stuff, which was awesome. But I don't know, it was hard. I will say this though. I felt there were also, in the midst of all these instances of me feeling sad, I was also feeling very much like there were signs that it was time to go as well. Like, and God bless my friends who are listening to this. You know, I love you. Kisses. But like it was New Year's Eve and we're all hanging out. And these are my like ride or die drinking buddies way back in the day. And like, but now everybody's a lawyer, or you know what I mean? We're real live grown-ups. And I'm the baby of the group. I'm in my late 27s. and I'm the baby. I'm like the youngest one. So we're all sitting around and they're just talking about, like we're at our friend George's house. And George, he's giving everybody drinks and they're like, oh my gosh, this glassware. It's so amazing. I wish I had some glassware like this. Oh my gosh, I can really tell this is some quality glassware. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, it looks like a glass to me. Jesus Christ. And they keep talking. Carrie's scuttling for some beers right now. I just need to share this with you. Oh, I love a good, what is this called?
Listen, it's no Tecate, but
it is no Tecate, but it's
Medalla Light.
It's the same concept. And it's little things. Like my friend Matt, Jess's husband,
right,
is like, oh my gosh, this martini pitcher. I don't have one. This would complete my bar set. And then he's showing it's just like, we got to get one of these. I don't understand. I don't know what this stuff is. And like, the food was incredible. George made like the best meal ever. He did like a sous vide pork thing. He has like a sous vide machine that has Wi-Fi that he can like.
Oh yeah, I know exactly which one it is.
Yeah, and he can turn it on from work.
Starts with an A.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This little like stick thing.
There was like, he was torching shit. He was putting stuff on fire. I didn't know what was going on in there. And they're just talking about, I had a 5-minute conversation about like the new end table that he wants to get.
You found a spreadsheet about that end table.
Oh my God, there's spreadsheets because he gets online and looks to like see. George, I love you. You know I love you. I'm so sorry. But like I was just like, you know what? This isn't. All of my friends are really naturally transitioning into this. They like it. They're happy. But I'm never gonna care. I'm never gonna care about the glassware. I'm never gonna care about the end table. You know what I mean?
Right, I do.
Ever. And like I also need to find a way to run out the clock till I die finally. And it's not going to be with glassware for sure.
Do you want to take up knitting?
No.
Listen, we can watch all of the Battlestar Galacticas.
I already have. It's too late.
I know I have to.
Now what?
I don't know. I can't get into Star Trek. I won't do it.
Oh my God. And like I need something.
Right.
And so there was a part of me that was like, I love these people with my whole heart. They make me so happy to be around them. I love seeing their happiness with these lives that they're creating for themselves. But it also felt like I don't necessarily fit in that in the way that I used to. And at least not in a way that I can't be that. I can't do what they're doing. I can still be their friend and I can love them and we can, you know what I mean? But I can't, I'm never going to sit around and talk about the side table or the glassware. It's not happening. I don't care. And that's fine.
It is fine. Different strokes, different folks.
Right.
But you feel good about your decision. Now that we're here, isn't it a relief? Because we talked about that. Like,
it is a relief. I feel really good about it. I think it was hard leaving. Leaving was really, really hard.
It was hard for me too. Because it's not like I was leaving nothing.
No, saying goodbye to my family. I'm really close to my immediate family. You know, saying goodbye to my brother, saying goodbye to my friends. That was really hard. And I know it's not goodbye forever, but I also know that the person that I'm going to be when I come back is not going to be the same.
Right.
And I also know that those people are so important to me. People I spent New Year's Eve with, people that I've spent the last couple of weeks saying goodbye to in my family. Those are not people that are ever going away from me. Those are people that are like my ride or die family for life, no matter what. There's no question.
Right.
And it's hard for me to be away from them because that's my safe little cocoon. But it's also clear to me that they're following their paths and I need to follow mine. And mine just happens to be
away from Akron.
It just does. And you know what? It doesn't make me better or anything. Listen, they'd probably fucking kill themselves if they woke up one day and realized that they were high as shit on an airplane and like, you know what I mean?
Would they though? Is that the worst thing?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't think it was. But not everybody can live this life. You know what I mean?
No. I almost wondered if I was like tempting fate. I could have had an out if I wanted to and tapped out on this workationing thing because it got really difficult toward the end. It got more difficult the closer it got. And part of it, a large part of it, I think, it was my procrastination with like selling my car. And there are still some things that I need to do. I still don't have international health insurance.
Yeah, we need to get on that.
And maybe blog about it because I feel like this is a question that people would probably have when traveling long term.
Right.
But like we need to figure that out and know what. Listen, if I have to take you to a hospital.
Right.
If one of them is going to cost you $20,000 and one of them is going to cost you $20, I would like to know.
Right.
To take you to the $20 one.
Totally.
Or whatever. Like there are all kinds of concerns with that. I still need to set up my mail forwarding.
Oopsie-daisy.
Listen.
I've got some banking shit to figure out.
Right. There's that.
So there's stuff to do. No, but I hear you. But even beyond that, like it did get kind of dark. Leaving is hard. Saying goodbye is hard.
It was really, really, really difficult. And I felt like a crazy person for basically all of December, just so you know. I was holding it together with work. But like,
no, I did too.
I would just, I don't want to say go home and cry, but like I would literally wake up with panic attacks, having nightmares
me
about
too.
like running out of time. And I haven't experienced that since being here. It was all this anxiety for what?
Yeah, no, I feel a really deep sense of peace being here now. This seems like 100% the right decision. But saying goodbye to everything in my entire life and all of my friends and my family, like that was really, really hard. It just was.
I think we're going to meet so many new people on this trip, though. And I've been digging into the digital nomad subreddit and various Facebook groups. And there are even some people in Puerto Rico. We might actually be able to meet some digital nomads in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, maybe. And I'm excited about that because I don't know that we've really figured out whether or not that's our tribe or not. We suspect that it is.
Well, the vagabonding was, I checked out that subreddit.
That's a no.
Literally, it was advice on how to like hop trains.
From
That's cute for them. Seattle down to LA with a harmonica. You have to know train times. And you're going to need to like tuck when you roll.
Right.
I can't sign up. I've got a bad knee.
No, they're like, you can bring an orange, a harmonica, and maybe some sort of a whittling knife in your
bow bindle.
Yes, and your handkerchief on a stick. That's all you're going to be able to fit.
So the term vagabonding as represented in that subreddit is not my scene.
No, thank you. I'm not trying to Oregon Trail.
no, on that. No, listen. Literally, one of the guys was like, these hobos, your fellow train hobos, if you don't have a thick crust on you already.
A crust?
Crust.
I don't want a thin crust.
You need a thick one to not get jacked by your fellow hobos. I don't want to travel.
What does that even mean?
I think it means like, are you dirty?
Like a protective crust? You hide your things under? You plaster your money to you and you just let the dirt dry?
What money? You just plaster your own like
you need to look
odor.
Extra like you have nothing left. Like there's nothing anyone could steal from you, even your dignity, and then they'll leave you alone.
I don't want that.
No.
I don't ever want to look like that.
Yeah. You need to let everyone around you really believe you have nothing left to live for.
I don't know why I'm laughing. Because some people, I
don't care.
don't want to be insensitive.
They're not going to listen to this. They don't have a smartphone in that bindle.
Maybe they might.
Maybe when they log in at the library. Oh my God, that's the worst.
Terrible. But okay, so vagabonding though, different strokes, different folks. I've said that like 15 times already tonight, but it's true. And listen, if you want to hop trains and live for $5 a day, apparently that's totally doable, even in America, because I've seen the Reddit threads of people who live that life. Digital nomads. There's also like a lack of. We're going to have to talk about this probably on a different podcast, but the pyramid scheme of digital nomadry.
Right. Like I'm going to fund my digital nomad life by teaching other people how to be a digital nomad, except that my wealth comes from the idea that you think that I know how.
But I don't really.
What I know how to do is convince you that I do know how, so that you give me your money and then I become a digital nomad. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like.
It happens in the digital marketing world with webinars too. Amy Porterfield will tell you how to have $100,000 webinar, six-figure webinar.
Right, but she has a six-figure webinar, but the webinar is about how to make a webinar. So you know what I mean?
Right.
Snake oil, trickery.
And maybe I need to dig into it more to find out exactly what's bullshit and what's not. I know how I made this life work for myself, and so I am very familiar with the path that I've beaten. I'm very interested in hearing other people's, like the paths that other people beat.
Right. And listen, neither of us are here to knock anybody's hustle. In fact, if anything, I think you and I have like a weird respect for like the hustle.
We do, but we like clean hustle.
I think that we are pretty dedicated to keeping things like really, really drama free and like really, really transparent and straightforward, and to not have any. We don't like when your shit gets grimy, it affects everything. And so like, we're not into this like digital nomad. There's a way in which some people do this. It's just grimy. I'm sorry, but it is.
No, I totally agree with you. And they just like are grifters who go through various communities. I see these people in libertarian communities where these people just kind of go through and leech off of others, or borrow favors and never pay them back, and it's just this constant debt that is accrued with these people, to where they're leaving a trail of unsatisfied people in their wake. And that I want the people that I interact with to have the opposite of that experience.
Right.
That's actually like a really strong core value to me, is that I'm not shitty to other people unless there's a need to.
You're pretty generally not shitty, though. I think sometimes you're emphatic and firm. I've never seen you be shitty to anybody.
I really try not to be. But I see other people do it all the time. And there are various ways to be shitty, and some of them are really obvious, like somebody stole your stuff and you know it or whatever. But like, then there are more insidious ways of being shitty, like the snake oil salesmen who know that it's snake oil, but like they're really good at convincing you that you might have hope, because who doesn't want hope, and who doesn't want to think that their lives could be better, and if only you buy this one online course that's gonna everything's going to change and the heavens are going to open and shower down like unicorn rainbows of cash bullets on you.
Right. Well, and I think the reason we get so heated about this is because the thing that we've learned is like So we're working in this agency setting. Obviously, Kari's the owner. I work there. We have an income that we can continue to collect on from basically almost not anywhere in the world, but almost anywhere in the world. And we've seen how difficult this is and how much money it takes and how much planning it takes and how fucking hard it is. And then
the emotional cost of it was not to be underestimated.
Not at all, but also just like taking that out of it. I mean, in terms of what we're talking about, like the logistics and the money of this is difficult, and it's really shitty to see people making money off of other people by selling them some sort of weird dream about how they're going to do this or how they're going to make this happen. I can tell you objectively just from doing this for however long, you know what I mean? It's not possible. You know what I mean? Like, I think you really need to find a way, if you're going to make this work, to have a stream of income that is reliable. Or because like we were talking about earlier, you go to Hawaii, there's all kinds of homeless people in Hawaii. You know why? Because they go to Hawaii, they get a flight out there and they can't afford the flight back. And then it's literally just a downward spiral from there.
Right.
And that's what you're facing when you don't have safety nets and provisions and like an income and the budget and idea of how you're going to do this.
Well, and a lot of people in this community, I don't mean to be like everything I learned on Reddit, but it's true. A lot of people in the digital nomad community specifically make their money Tim Ferriss style off of like drop shipping and all kinds of stuff like that, right?
Right.
But so they'll post these, here's the standard scam. They'll post these bank statements of I got $100,000 in sales deposited right into my bank account. But what they don't tell you is that they had to spend $97,000 in ads to get those sales.
So like that money went through their bank account.
It's a net profit of $3,000 per month, and that's not sustainable. It could be, but it's not sustainable on a baller lifestyle. And there's a big difference between making $100,000 a month and making $3,000 a month. And you are misrepresenting yourself and being a shady, slimy, fucked up person when you try and tell people that they can do what you did and you'll show them how for $500.
Right.
In a webinar.
Well, and I think we're just naturally more skeptical about that sort of thing because we work in marketing and in digital marketing, and like everything that we do is helping our clients take something and, as we say, make it go. You know what I mean? Like, we have a lot of more established brands.
Right.
But we also have a full range of like people from startups and whatever who come to us. We've both worked in the startup environment. I am a former business owner. Kari is a current business owner. We understand what it takes to make something go and how hard that is. And when these people are just like, oh yeah, go ahead, walk away from your life. You're going to make this whole new life and you're definitely going to make money doing it. You just have to follow these 5 steps. There is nothing in this fucking world except for maybe turning tricks where there's like, you are definitely going to make money. Just follow these 5 steps.
Right.
And even then you might get stabbed at the end. So like, it's never that easy. And if you don't have your revenue stream figured out before you leave, you're fucked. And that's just the truth.
Or if you have a trust fund, listen.
Or if you have a trust fund, which I think there's a lot of masqueraders out there like, oh, I'm vagabonding. Are you, bitch? Are you? No. I see your jeans.
Bank of Mommy and Daddy is funding that trip.
Right.
Which is cool. But then, like, don't misrepresent it. And don't take money from
and don't call yourself a digital nomad.
No. And don't take money from other people who are trying to achieve something. Listen, this lifestyle was very attractive to me. So much so that I planned for more than 3 years to make it happen. And this was already after I had a digital life.
Right.
I had to wait until I could make enough money. I had to wait until I wasn't tied with relationships. Mm-hmm. I had to wait until I found somebody to go with that made it possible. Like, Kelly, you made this possible for me.
Well, yeah, I think it's cool. Like, we made it possible for each other. You know, we're in different places, but we kind of both needed somebody who could do it at the same time. Like, you made it possible by providing the job and then by being willing to go.
Right.
You know?
But I think what we're getting at here is that in the research and in living this life for even 3 days, and we've done test runs before, but like we had to close down an entire chapter. It wasn't a chapter. It was like a part 1.
Exactly. Like, no, like my 2. Life kind of stopped there. Like
this was like some Atlas Shrugged 3-part series bullshit.
Right.
And that chapter is closed. And get ready for Howard Rourke's, like...
Yeah, this is all new.
I think that was Fountainhead. Jury speech. Anyway.
Right.
But, like, it's difficult. And it's beyond difficult, it's really easy to get trapped into the shiny, like, this is why people buy shit on late night TV during infomercials. Like, it's not the fact that their life sucks and that their habits are terrible and that they are in this habit loop of spiraling downward, that they're experiencing X, Y, or Z. It's because they don't have a magic bullet blender or a George Foreman grill. There's no quick fix. And if you want to come out here into the world of digital nomadry, like, you have to have your ducks in a row, because if you don't, you are in for a world of hurt when you finally get to where you're going and it doesn't pan out. Because if it hasn't panned out for you and consistently for at least a year, I don't think you should be considering this lifestyle.
No, you absolutely shouldn't. And the other thing is that I think people get drawn into it because all of these digital nomads, and like, listen, we already week 1 are a little guilty of this. Like, listen, we post the stuff that we do. It's fun. We went to these beaches. It was fabulous. We have incredible videos, pictures, everything. But like, the thing that we don't share, because like, who even really wants to see that, and it's boring, and we're like too caught up in the moment, is the exhaustion, how hard it is. It's 9 o'clock at night and you're driving around trying to find your damn Airbnb after you've been up for 36 hours. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, like, we don't have this thing we needed. How are we going to get this?
Is the internet going to work when you get there?
Right. And we've had a good time so far. We haven't run into any major issues. But I will say that, like, I've been going to bed at 10 o'clock, and I usually go to bed at 3 or 4 in the morning because I am fucking tired at 10, because it is hard work. And even just the act of like getting all of my work done while also finding time to go to the beach. Like, yeah, those are princess problems, but like,
we didn't even have time to do that today. And I'm not complaining about that, because most people don't. But like, we barely had time to return the rental car today.
But yeah, but I think the point is, like, this is not all fun and games. It's not an easy lifestyle. It's very appealing to me. I'm already really glad I've chosen it, but it's not as easy as they make it sound. It's difficult, and you're choosing a certain set of difficulties because, for me, not even just because of the rewards, but because I find that those difficulties for me are helping me in ways that I find valuable.
Right.
I want my life to be difficult in these ways.
We had a conversation about how we didn't need a man to set up this podcast equipment, because you struggled for a minute.
Yeah, I used to have a podcast before. I have an older podcast.
I'm not Kelly's first.
No,
is what she's saying.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I love you anyway.
I love you too. This is still magical, but yeah, no, I had a podcast called Wine Stay Podcast with my BFF from home, Jess, and it was great. But like, my boyfriend at the time handled all the audio engineering stuff, and so I was like, "Oh, Kari, we're gonna do this podcast. It's gonna be fantastic." And it turns out, like, I really didn't know anything about this, but look at me figuring it out, and I'm glad to be pushed in that way. Like, I'm glad to have to figure shit out. I'm glad to get lost in a place I've never been before. I'm glad to have to solve problems, because I just think that it keeps me more engaged in my life, and I enjoy it. And this is a life that we choose for a lot of reasons. But I think when people put a really, really just shiny veneer on it and act like it's just so easy, and you're just going to do this and follow these 5 steps and you'll make 5 figures, it's a fucking lie. It's not real.
Listen, do you want to appreciate life? Come drive in Puerto Rico for like 2 hours. Really, anywhere. It doesn't need to be in a city. It can be on the highway. Just come try it.
Right.
You'll have some near-death experiences.
Yeah, I've almost died a few times, but it's okay. I feel so alive.
Part of that's my fault, maybe.
You're a little bit of a crazy driver, but it's okay.
Well, you don't have to deal with it anymore.
No, you drive like you don't fear the Reaper.
I'm not used to driving around. Well, I drive a different car.
Yeah.
I'm going to blame it on the car.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that we're wrapped.
I think that wraps it.
We
meandered a bit, but I feel like we covered some ground.
We did. I'm excited. I feel incredible about being here, and I know that we just spent the last like 15, 20 minutes, however long, talking about how difficult and filled with like charlatans this whole digital nomad space is
already.
But I'm excited about it. I love our place. I love the internet. I love the smart TV that gives me access to the Netflix.
Yes.
Can catch up on some shows. And I'm looking forward to really knocking some stuff out this week.
Yes. So that's what we're gonna work hard this week, and then hopefully have some more fun and adventures to share this after this weekend.
We are across the street from some sort of Coliseum convention center thing that a professional Puerto Rican basketball team is having their first practice / like the townies are so excited for this. They have a parade.
No, they have like a parade for the first practice. Do you know, like, do you know how happy that makes me?
Kelly's a big basketball fan.
I'm a huge basketball fan. And I'm like, I wish this is what we should do for the Cavs. I would have a parade and then watch them do their first practice. Are you kidding me? LeBron doesn't want any of that shit.
No,
but
I Team Puerto Rico does.
They do. And you know what? I might head over there and watch them play some basketball.
It's not even Team Puerto Rico. It's the
it's Team Aguada.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might go over there. Like, I might become a big time.
Oh, no. We are both going over there with, like, do they sell foam fingers? I didn't see any at the convenience store, but maybe they'll have some for parade day.
Yeah. Whatever they do out here, we're going to go do it. Because I want to go watch some basketball. I think that's awesome. The people get that pumped for their local team. I love that. That's fantastic.
I do, too. We are going to embed ourselves into this culture and report back.
Yes.
So that you all know.
So awesome. All right. Well, I think we did it.
We did. Talk soon.
Bye.